Welcome to the third session of Somatic Sensing in the Moment. So, when we're doing anything, any kind of project or an idea is coming together, there's normally a beginning stage, a middle, and an end or a goal. So to get to that goal, you have to first consider a few things, like have some options and choices. Then you take some action on those choices, and then you make some decisions following those actions, and finally integrate the whole. So those last two parts, making those decisions regarding your actions and changing course in a very decisive way when you need to, is step number 5. And then being completely flexible and integrative is step number 6. And we can apply this to all of life. It's almost like a philosophy of life, of how things are done, of how you manifest things, of how things are manifest. Okay, so let's just go through the first initial phases we did. Breath helps you to initiate. And what kind of breathing did we do? First we did vertical, horizontal, space sensing, and sagittal, the bulging breath, pushing away boundaries. Good. Then we went into full boundary work, which was core distal, distal, and core. And we also gave ourselves a lymphatic squeeze at that point, which is good for all of us. We're squeezing behind the knees, in the groin, and under the arms, which are all our areas of high lymph activity. Lymph carries the rubbish out of your body, keeps you feeling better inside, mentally as well. Okay, so they were our first two, breath, core distal. And then we have our head tail, which is also spinal. That's the melting down, and it's just basically being wiggly. You don't need to do a special movement. It's wiggling your spine from the neck to the tail. And like I said, that's why arts like belly dancing or even Latin dancing and Qigong are very good for this spinal twisting sensation. Failing doing any dance moves, just go with this spinal fluid wave. Imagine yourself sort of melting downwards towards the ground. That helps your nervous system and your vagus nerve get this sense of I'm capable and there's plenty of choice around me. That sense of choice, without being overwhelming, it's that or that, tends to give your autonomic nervous system just a sense of being able to feel freer in its own choices, which gives you a sense of control as well over your own body. After the playfulness of the spinal motions, we go into the workhorse, which is from low to high, low to high. And remember, if you're seated, you can simply just bend your body forward. It's actually that bending forward from the midline of the body that gives your brain the stimulus to say, I can take action. It's a really powerful psychophysical movement. Failing that, if you're in a chair and you can't even move your back, believe it or not, just bringing your arms down and up like this, or lifting small weights with this forward back bending motion, also gives your brain that same I am capable signal. I love it, because sometimes you just need a little boost. It comes from within, but it's like a guide, a boost to guide you into the correct action you want to take, and also mentally be prepared for it. Okay, so our last two now are body halves. So this is your real decision-making stuff. I like to get my foot and my arm out the same. Arm, foot, arm and foot, arm and foot. So I go out to the side, in, out to the front, into the side, into the front, in, then I change, front and side, and front and side. My fingers and toes point together. And even my head decides to go that way because I'm making a very clear, definitive decision. This is a good one. 1, 2, 3, 4. My toes and my hand are going out at the same time. Okay, so it's a motion that is basically one of your body halves doing a whole connected movement that makes you feel like your body is not fighting itself, but it's aligning so all systems are working together. And again, that's a great psychophysical intention to make your body want to work for your mind, or to make your mind support the actions of your body. If I'm a bit confused, sometimes I'll actually sit down and think about getting out of the confusion, and nothing works because it's in the head and I get more confused. But I'll stand up and I'll say, okay, I'm going to do some step pointing body halves movement here. And step and touch and step and touch and step and touch and step and touch and step and touch, and then out and then out. And immediately that tends to clarify what's going on in the head. And then I make a more determined decision. It's like a one-way decision, and it's not black or white. It's like, okay, I'm doing that and that's it. Then the last one, and this is one I love a lot, it's dividing yourself through the midline of the body in the vertical, not the horizontal, but the vertical. And you're going to cross your limbs over that midline. Now, when you cross your limbs over the midline of the body, something unusual happens. Your wrists and ankles tend to want to turn. Now, even if you're in a chair sitting down and you're turning your body, sometimes you will feel your ankle turning just a little bit, even seated, just to be able to get your body over, okay? Now, this we call cross-lateral movement. You just sweep across the body. Cross-lateral movement, in a very simplistic way, would help your body to be able to turn around and look behind you, so you're aware of anyone coming in behind you, or any threat, I guess, or anything that you need to move out of the way from or go against, because this is like a force of nature, right? So this is basically you being very aware of your surroundings. And for someone who struggles with confidence, this can actually help you feel very aware of your environment, to the point where you feel that you can take on whatever comes your way. So another cross-lateral movement is this. I'm getting ready to turn. Okay, it's that action actually, the cross-lateral action actually gets you ready to turn. So this again is a psychophysical way of you saying, I am flexible enough to move with any big changes that come my way. Whether you're doing a project and all of a sudden a big bomb hits the project and you completely have to change course, instead of having that awful panicking feeling of flight, fight, or freeze, you have the fourth option, which is ease. And that's, okay, yeah, that bomb came my way, but you know what? I ducked. Or, yeah, that bomb came my way and I ushered the bomb in and I started to roll with it and I moved with it. So again, a lot of this babbling that I'm doing with you is about more the quantum level of how we're working in a way that's emotional, spiritual, physical. It all comes together. But remember, movement is your key of life. If you can move and choose your movements in a way that align with the mental outlook you're seeking, you're going to find it easier in the head to go the direction you need to go. And your body supports your brain fuels your body, and we start to become so much more integrated, because I really believe that when our head and our body are fighting, when we're frustrated and they're fighting together and they're not aligning, we emotionally feel down or frustrated. So to ease our sense of moving around in this world, let's breathe. Let's go core distal and define our boundaries. Let's get curious and playful with spinal momentum, twisting. Let's be able to take action with this kind of Superman move where we're going upper, lower. Let's be able to make really clear decisions with our body halves, a real intentional move. And finally, let's allow ourselves to feel as though we integrate into the wider whole, and the environment is working with us, not against us, with this beautiful cross-lateral movement. So I really hope that this spectrum of 6 moves has helped you wherever you're at. It's something that's simple to do. And in the next class, which I'll shoot tomorrow, I'm actually going to look at exercises and ways that you can implement each of these. specific ways that you can focus on all 6 of these core movement connectivities. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you for the last session tomorrow.